It's been 3 years since he was on Sacramento City Council, and now he wants to be mayor. Steve Hansen is once again vying for votes, this time in a city he says is in the middle of a crisis of confidence. Steve Hansen with me now in studio as he tries to lead the city he helped run for 8 years. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Cecilia. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Glad to have you here. Since getting into this race, you have said that Sacramento is not positioned well to show up to help its residents. What do you mean by that? And you can't just say, hey, today I'm your mayor. Trust me, it's all going to run right now. So what's one thing that you would change that you think would inspire more confidence?
I never planned on running again for office, but a lot of the work I did appears to be falling apart. And as I've been walking and talking to people around the city, the experience I saw were homeless people burned down 2 houses across the street from us in Alkali Flat. These issues of crime and safety are happening all over the city. And I really feel like leadership starts from the top, and the city, because we're a state capital, has always been sort of a second class to what's happening in Capitol. Legislators come and go, and they see the city as their playground. I want to fix the public safety issues in the city, and that takes a mayor who's willing to fight hard. Homelessness is a complicated problem, but we have made very little progress for all of the money that's been spent and to reposition that. But ultimately, the city's economy is very at risk right now. State workers are not going to come back, most likely. They're going to be allowed to work from home. And we have to pivot this city's economy into the future.
All righty, let's talk a little bit more about homelessness. You were intimately involved in opening new shelter beds in the city with the Capitol Park Hotel downtown, but that has since closed. The last point in time count shows more than 9,200 people are on the streets of Sacramento County. We have nowhere near the beds needed for all of them, even after the passage of Measure O. Facilities opening and closing is not a real solution. Is the Sacramento Forward proposal that has been presented by some of the current council members what we need? Do we need something different?
Well, we did open shelters. I opened shelters all over my district. We created a lot of new beds. Capitol Park Hotel, which you mentioned, is reopening as permanent supportive housing. And that building was in pretty bad shape. We used it for a little bit. But this is going to be a city, county, multi-agency approach. I think we need a regional task force of agencies together working on this. And you're right, 9,000 people, but they're not all City of Sacramento residents. Some of them are in the county, some of them are in other cities, but we have to work together to get there. The Sacramento Forward proposal that was put out a couple weeks ago really would cease our production of new housing. So if we have a housing shortage, raising the costs of new homes at a time when financing, other costs are super high, you'll see Sacramento stop building housing if that passes, and you'll see other jurisdictions continue to take our jobs, move people out of the city, and we'll continue to see cost increases because we just won't build the amount of housing we need. I think we need to build as much housing as we can that's both privately built and subsidized affordable so that everyone has a place to live in the city, and it's how we pivot the city into a new future.
All righty, you talked a little bit about working together. That's what Measure O was supposed to do. That was the big selling point, that finally the city and the county were going to be teamed up to get this done. And when we rolled around to the enforcement date for Measure O, people who were ready to file complaints about problems in their area in front of their business heard from the city of Sacramento, we don't have the money for the enforcement piece. So was Measure O the right thing to do?
Measure O is a reflection of the frustration voters have. They wouldn't have passed it if they felt like everything was going well.
But they didn't even know the details when it got passed. It hadn't been formulated yet.
I mean, no, Measure O was on the ballot. The language was there for voters to read. Voters spoke, and the city has to try to meet the intent and the spirit of Measure O. And it's that people don't want camps all over the city. They don't want a dirty city, and they want to feel safe in their neighborhoods. People want to walk their kids to school without having to evade different obstacles, including sometimes tents and needles and other things. Now, the county of Sacramento has really turned a corner and is doing a great job sort of reinvigorating services, doing the public health, doing the mental health, and now the city has to figure out what its role is going to be. And there's an attitude that we can't do anything, we can't fix it, but we have to keep trying, and that's what the public demands.
All righty. Just to change topics, when you joined City Council, you made history as the first openly gay council member. You would be Making history again if you were the first openly gay mayor of Sacramento. At the top of this hour, the California Family Council started a demonstration at the state capitol over what members say is a parents' rights issue, expressing concern over school curriculum choices that reference the LGBTQ community, non-affirmation of a child's espoused gender identity, risking custody, and non-LGBTQ plus affirming parents being profiled, they say, through different bills. In that kind of environment, in the state capitol, in the city in which we sit, in an environment that's kind of spreading across the country, how do you keep those concerns out of city policies, keep them from seeping in?
Well, first, I'm the first openly gay person to ever even run for mayor of Sacramento. Two, I'm a dad. I've got two boys. We foster adopted. And so I come to this thinking about my kids. If kids don't feel safe in school, they don't learn. If kids aren't safe at home, they can't be taken care of. Just over the weekend, a woman was murdered in San Bernardino County for having a pride flag on her shop. We are still not in a place where our families feel safe. Even my kids, I worry about what will happen with me running. So we have to make sure that violence isn't accepted anywhere, that kids, families feel safe, respected. And, you know, at the city level, a pothole or a stop sign or fixing our public safety issues, they're not gay or straight issues, they're city issues. And I have a long career of fighting to make the city work for everyone, and that's what I'm going to keep doing.
Okay, and just quickly before we run out of time, you did not win your last election in the city, so why should people choose you now?
Well, you know, the 2020 election, my district went much further to the left with Bernie Sanders on the ballot. I fought hard. I've always worked really hard. I was a poor kid who was given nothing. I'm going to fight hard for the city every day, and we've gotten a lot of support from groups like Equality California to the Sacramento Police Officers Association, because when it comes down to it, I'm not a politician. I'm an outsider who wants to fix this city, and I don't think this is a bus stop for me. I want an amazing city for my kids to grow up in and for us to live in, where people feel safe and respected, and that's what we're fighting for.
All righty, Steve Hansen, candidate for mayor in Sacramento. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Siri.